All right, class. Let's try this again. Class. Class, class. Okay, good. Yes. So we're going to make sure we're all paying attention. If I see a phone out, I swear I'm going to lose my mind again. But we don't want that to happen, right? Just make sure you're off your phone, you're paying attention, right? Okay, your earbuds are out. You don't have to be texting your cousin during this class because your cousin has nothing to do with this class and help you pass this class. That's me, not your cousin. Yeah, he's looking for his case. All right, right here, page number 21. 9 plus 11, 21. All right, so I'm going to teach this differently than I taught it in my first hour. First hour got confused because there was too many words. Too many symbols, too much mathanese. That's not very good, right? Too much mathanese, people really start, like, tuning me out. Kind of like whenever there's, too many words in a warm-up, people don't want to read it. So I'm going to go over this in a different way. So probability of event 2 occurring, given event 1, E of 1 has occurred, will happen, the time, relationship does not matter. So I'm going to give you the formula for it here. So you're going to see it like this. It's going to be, so P of event 2 such that P event 1 has happened is, let me see, E of 2 and E of 1 over E of 1.
You write that right.
Yeah. So this is the formula, so we can at least understand what they're talking about.
Is that a 1 or a line?
1. Which one? This big one?
Yeah.
Such that. Yeah, that's such that.
So what?
Such that.
A line?
That line right there in between the two, it's such that.
So it's a line?
Yeah. So I told you, like, math people are like the laziest ever. They come up with symbols for everything.
So such that?
So, yeah, but it's, in this case, in the probability, it's going to be given the first thing happening. Okay, now, I'm going to make this a whole lot easier. I even showed like a video my first hour. They're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But guess what? Yeah, they did it 2 different ways and everyone got confused. I even got confused. That's how bad it was. I was like, okay. Anyway, so I'm just going to teach you the easy way. You ready? So, single card is selected from a deck of cards. Determine probability. It is club given that it is black. First, how many cards are in a deck? 52. The sad thing is, a lot of people didn't know that. So, 52. Maybe that's a good note. Especially since a lot of these things we're going to talk about has to do with the deck of cards. Okay? Now, there's more things about that deck of cards. We have 4 suits. And each one has 13 cards each. So the suits are going to be diamond, heart, club, and spade. Guess which ones are black?
2 out of the 4.
The club and the? Yeah, so that should be pretty easy to see, right? So, and if you didn't know that, then, please write that down also. Because that's going to be helpful and beneficial. Because it was kind of weird that when I talked about it before, people didn't know all the suits. They couldn't tell me the 4 suits. The clubs, the diamond, the hearts, the spades. Yeah, they couldn't tell me those.
My club looks like Courage the Cowardly Dog's hand.
So you're not saying you're into club?
No, I'm saying mine does. Look at that. It's like a hand.
Okay. Courage's hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What it looks like.
All right, to go along with that, we have 4 suits, 13 cards each, and so how many? So let's say we have 26 that are black and 26 that are red. So that's what you need to know about each deck of cards. We don't count jokers. No jokers in there. Now, an event happening, what we have here. So, my top is going to be an and. Okay? Top is going to be an and statement. So, I'm going to look and see what fits both those categories. And the bottom is just black. So, first, how many is black? Very good. That's super easy, right? Now, how many are black and a club? Because we have 26 that are black, right? And that our clubs are just those ones, right? Black clubs. That would be 13 of them. That's where we get 13. So it has to meet both criteria on the top. So it has to be a black and it has to be a club. So there's 13 there. And the bottom is how many total for the black. So what is this one going to end up giving me? Divide it! Divide it! Hurry up, divide it. No! You okay? Okay. 0.5. So what does that mean? 50%. So 0.50. So I like writing it in double digits always, even if it is just 0.5, 0.50. It helps me remember that that's going to be a 50%. Is that easy now?
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully you guys think it's easier now. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2. Okay, a die. How many sides of it does a die have? 6. A normal die has 6, unless we're playing D&D, right? And I'm rolling D20s all day long. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Where are your socks?
Yeah, that was like too nerdy, wasn't it? A little bit too nerdy.
I'll phase into your socks.
Oh, you like that? Okay.
Like, what is it? Like,
Compression.
See, they're hugging when I go like this.
oh. That's,
Yeah. Anyway. So there's 6 sides in a die. Find the probability, get a number less than or equal to 2. So now let's start off with this. So everything that's on the bottom is going to be less than 5. But I'm gonna go through. So numbers less than 5. Let's list out the numbers of less than 5. Okay, 1.
2, 3, 4.
Ah, that's it, right? Those are numbers less than 5. So it says and numbers that are less than equal to 2. 1 and there we go. 1 and 2, right? So this is the and statement right here. And statement. So what do I have to look for if it's an and statement like this?
Numbers that show up more than once, like 2 numbers that are the same that show up more than once.
Yeah, that they have in common, right? So the numbers that they have in common for this, the intersection. So for this case right here, it's going to be 1 and 2, right? Those are the only things that they have in common. So how many numbers do I have there?
3, 2,
Nope, try again.
3, 4.
There's only 2 numbers. There's 2 numbers, right? There's a 1 and a 2. So how many numbers do we have on the top?
2.
2. Very good. And for numbers less than 5. So the bottom of my fraction, how many numbers do we have that are less than 5?
4.
Do the math. What is it? 50 or 50%. Es muy fácil. Es muy dificioso. No?
Why did you put USA right here?
Because some tard decided that they're going to write on my stress ball, and that just makes me stressful.
That wasn't me.
I know, but I'm telling you, you're like, why? I'm like, yeah, someone wanted to write on my stress ball. That just made me more stressful. It's contrary, right? You shouldn't do that. Don't write on someone's stress ball. It stresses them out. Anyway, let's take a look at the next problem. Question 3. These ones are better. These ones are better. It's a little bit easier to understand because you don't have to know background knowledge like how many cards are in a deck. So, okay, so here it is. 200 patients who either had hip surgery or knee surgery were asked whether they were satisfied or dissatisfied regarding the results of their surgery. The responses are given in the table below. Okay? So, let's take a look. Now, satisfied with the results. Okay, so we're going to write this as a fraction, aren't we? Okay. Now, what number is satisfied?
160.
Okay. And I would say, what's it out of?
200.
Yeah. So, divide that up. 0.8.
Yes.
Yep. %. Es muy fácil. Sí, sí. All right. So, there's a way of reading this. Satisfied with the results of the surgery, given that the person had knee surgery. Okay. The given that. This is important. That's the bottom of my fraction. That's the bottom of my fraction, okay? Person had knee surgery. So what's the bottom of my fraction going to be here?
95.
95. Where'd we get 95? The total number that had. Very good. So it's 95 on the bottom. All right. So now, I'm looking only at this group right here, okay? Only looking at that group. Only looking at that group. Now I go and find the data that is in this group, which has to do with my denominator here, that fits this. Satisfied with the surgery. That would be 70. Because that's that and symbol, so it's got to be here and satisfied. So the only intersection is going to be that number right there, right? So on top is going to be at 70. And then I do my handy dandy calculator, right? Mr. Brown. Yeah, seriously, you yeah, come on. Do you need to go get a drink of water or something? You sure? Why you fall asleep on me? I am not that boring. It's all right. It's all right. It gets warm in here, and you're like, and after lunch, right? Yeah, it's no bueno. All right, what do we get as a decimal?
0.73.
0.73? Okay, yeah. Is that rounded right? No, it's not.
No, it has 6 after it. So it's 7.4 instead.
Should be 7.4. About 7.4? Let me check my notes. I'm not saying you're wrong, because
That's rounded.
I've been wrong several times today. So yeah, 7.4. Okay, that's good, right? So now I'm gonna erase what I have up here, because I'm gonna do the same thing again for the next one. The next one says dissatisfied with the result of the survey or surgery, given that the person had a hip surgery. Okay, so given that, what does that mean? So given that, this goes on the bottom, right? That goes on the bottom. So the bottom of my fraction says given that person had hip surgery. So what's that number?
105.
Where'd we get 105?
The total of 50.
the total of hip surgery, right? So up here, total hip surgery. So I'm looking like this. Hip surgery, right? Now I need to try and figure out what I'm going to put on top. So I'm only looking at hip surgeries now. Dissatisfied is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for dissatisfied. So my dissatisfied here is 15. And anyone have a problem with the calculator? I had someone tell me today that they still don't know how to put it into a decimal. Anyone? We okay? You okay? All right, so what do we come up with? 14? 14.4?
1.4.
Point
1.4.
Okay, so 0.14? Yeah. 1.4, so 14%. It's not too bad, right? We still tracking here on this? Okay. So I'm hoping if you have questions, you got to speak up now. So the next one is going to be had hip surgery given that person was dissatisfied. Ooh. So the bottom of my fraction is only going to be dissatisfied with that surgery, right? So I'm looking for what now?
15.
Nope.
40.
Why 40?
Because that's the amount of people that were dissatisfied.
The amount of people total that is dissatisfied, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going with here. I'm going with totals first. So right here, the total dissatisfied, right here.
I didn't read that right.
Okay. That's why I'm here teaching this. So total dissatisfied, right? So now I can go this way. So total dissatisfied. So we said 40. And which one are we looking at here? Hip surgery. So how many dissatisfied? So now we're only looking at this, right? This is the and statement. Dissatisfied hip surgery. 15. So that's why if you notice I keep doing this and I keep circling what it is I'm talking about first. Because my and statement is the intersection of this. So dissatisfied and hip surgery. So it's only that number. So on the bottom, I'm going to have, right here, let's see. So it's 15 out of 40, which is 38. So that is 38% were dissatisfied with their hip surgery. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, I'm going to give you guys a couple moments here. I want you to try the first couple here. And if you notice, the first given problem is right here. This is the first given problem. So don't make that mistake. That's the first given problem. So go ahead, try these. So A and B are both from, I believe they're from 7.2. A and B are both from 7.2. hopefully you guys got at least these 3 done at this point. So this one right here might be a bit of a stretch because you have to remember what we did on 7.2. Now, one of these individuals selected at random determined by probability person is a male. So, how many males do we have? 145 over 295. There you go. And then divide that out. What's that like?
0.49.
0.49. Okay. It's not too bad, right? And that's why I pointed out that the givens don't start till down here. So B says 15 to 64-year-olds. What's that number?
198.
15 to 64, 198. Out of,
295.
yeah. So these ones are looking out of the totals, which is a different than what we were doing earlier. And what do we get here?
67.
6, 7? Anyone questions there? Pretty straightforward. All right, so on C, this is the first one that we did like today. So it says, given that the person is female. So what do I start with?
150
150, where's that 150 go?
on the bottom.
Very good. So 150 on the bottom. Now I'm looking for an intersection of female, right here, right? That is 15 to 64.
99.
Very good. So I just look at that one category, so it's 99 out of 150. Which is going to give me 0.67? Yeah? Okay. Okay. You just say 6.6.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Well, I looked at it wrong. I don't know what I got. 669.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Are you telling me I'm wrong or
No, hold up.
I got 6, 6.
6.6? Okay. Okay.
6.6, not 6.7.
6.7?
No, 6.6.
What's the next number?
There is no next number.
There's no next. There's no next one.
Just 6.6?
Yeah.
So not 6.7?
Not 6.7.
Oh, okay, see? So I was wrong. Like that?
Yeah. Look.
All right. Next one. So we start with the given, right? Given that the person is female, so what goes on the bottom?
150.
And now I'm only looking at the category of 65 and over, right?
21.
And 65 and older, so that is yes. Right there. 51. And what do we get? 1.4? You guys agree? Yes? Okay. All right, let's keep going. So the next one says, given that the person is 0 to 14 years old. So I'm starting with the given, right? So what goes on bottom?
61.
51?
61.
61. So we're saying it's 61 on the bottom. So I'm going up to my chart now. So 61 on the bottom because I'm going with this age range right here, right? I'm going this way. And so now this time I'm looking for female, right? I'm going to pick female out of what I've just circled up there. So only female, so that's going to be,
30.
there we go. Which is going to give me about, what's that, like 4.9? Okay. All right, this last one, I think this is the last one. Given that the person is 15 to 64, so on the bottom I'm going to put
198.
198. And out of that group, what is male?
99.
99. Yeah, I'm not going back up to the thing. I think we got this. All right, go ahead, divide that. What's that, 0.5?
Yes.
Equals 0.50. So that's 50% right there. Jess,
That's it.
is that it?
That's it.
Is that easy? All right. Okay, so hopefully you guys feel better about it. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification button, and buy stuff from my merch store. All proceeds go to my, my fund, the Pacho program. It keeps Pacho in new socks.